హాయ్ వ్యూవర్స్, వెల్కమ్ టు మై ఛానల్ vijayatechandcraftworks. ఈ వీడియోలో ఫుల్ డీటెయిల్స్ అబౌట్ ఎక్సెల్ ఇంట్రడక్షన్, స్టూడెంట్స్ ఎక్సెల్తో బాగా లిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఫీచర్స్ దాని గురించి అన్నీ తెలుసుకోవడానికి ఈ వీడియో చాలా ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. ఈ వీడియో చూడాలంటే ముందుగా నా ఛానల్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయకపోతే సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి. సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసి వాచ్ చేయండి. ఈ వీడియోలో ఇంట్రడక్షన్ టు ఎక్సెల్ ఇందులో టాపిక్స్ లిస్ట్ ఫ్యూచర్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్సెల్, వర్క్షీట్ డెఫినేషన్, వర్క్ బుక్ అంటే ఏంటి, స్ప్రెడ్షీట్లో ఎలాగ క్యాల్కులేషన్ చేస్తాము, ఎక్సెల్ విండోలో ఎలాగ ఏ కాంపోనెంట్స్ ఉంటాయి, వర్క్షీట్ ఎడిటింగ్ క్రియేట్ ఎలా చేస్తారు, కాలమ్స్ రోస్ గురించి, షీట్ స్టేటస్ బార్లో షీట్స్ గురించి అన్నిటికీ వివరంగా తెలుసుకోవడానికి ఈ వీడియో చాలా ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. వీడియోలోకి వెళ్తే ముందు మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ ఎక్సెల్ 2019 is a popular spreadsheet application of Microsoft Office Suite 2019. It allows you organize and manipulate the data. డేటాని ఆర్గనైజ్ చేయడానికి ఈ ఎక్సెల్ చాలా యూస్గా ఉంటుంది. ఇట్ ఈస్ వైడ్లీ యూస్ టు పర్ఫార్మ్ మ్యాథమెటికల్ క్యాల్కులేషన్స్. ఈ స్ప్రెడ్షీట్లో ఎక్సెల్లో మ్యాథమెటికల్స్, ఎడిషన్, సబ్ట్రాక్షన్, మల్టిప్లికేషన్, డివిజన్ ప్లస్ ఆటోసమ్తో ఆప్షన్తో ఫంక్షన్ కీతో ఆటోసమ్తో అడిషన్ చేయడం అన్నీ సెల్ అడ్రస్లో క్యాల్కులేట్ చేయడానికి ఈ ఎక్సెల్ చాలా యూజ్ ఉంటుంది. మల్టిప్లై ఆఫ్ మ్యాథమెటికల్ క్యాల్కులేషన్స్ ఈ వర్క్షీట్లో చేయడానికి డిఫరెంట్ ఫార్ములాస్, ఇఫ్ దెన్ ఎల్స్, కండిషనల్ ఫార్మాట్ ఇవన్నీ యూజ్ చేయడానికి ఎక్సెల్ చాలా యూస్ఫుల్. ఇన్ ఎక్సెల్ డాటా స్ప్రెడ్ ఇస్ అ టాబులర్ ఫార్మ్ కన్సిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ రోస్ అండ్ కాలమ్స్. ఈ వర్క్షీట్లో ఒక వర్క్షీట్కి స్ప్రెడ్షీట్కి నంబర్ ఆఫ్ కాలమ్స్ అండ్ నంబర్ ఆఫ్ రోస్ ఉంటాయి. You can use different inbuilt features and tools on these rows and columns to handle the data easily and quickly. ఈజీగా క్విక్లీగా హ్యాండ్ చేయడానికి ఈ రోస్ అండ్ కాలమ్స్ ఫీచర్స్ ద్వారా అడ్రస్ బార్లో రోస్ అండ్ కాలమ్స్ అడ్రస్ కరెక్ట్గా ఇచ్చి క్యాల్కులేట్ చేయడానికి ఈ ఫీచర్స్ క్విక్గా ఈజీగా చేయడానికి ఎక్సెల్ చాలా బిల్ట్ ఫామ్ ఎక్కువగా ఉంటుంది. మరి ఇందులో ఫీచర్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్సెల్ ఏంటో తెలుసుకుందాం. ఫీచర్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎక్సెల్లో ఫీచర్స్ చాలా ఉన్నాయి. ఫార్ములాస్, ఫంక్షన్స్, ఫార్మాటింగ్ ఫీచర్స్, డేటా క్విక్ సెర్చ్, ఆటోమేటికలీ రీకాల్కులేటెడ్, క్విక్ డేటా వ్యూడ్ గ్రాఫికల్ ఫామ్లో ఉండడానికి ఇవన్నీ ఫీచర్స్ చాలా యూస్ఫుల్. ఫస్ట్ feature, formulas are mainly used for performing simple and complex mathematical calculations. Second function, functions are built-in formulas used for calculating percentage. Different of functions ఉంటాయి క్యాల్కులేట్ చేయడానికి. మ్యాథమెటికల్ క్యాల్కులేషన్ చేయడం, పర్సంటేజ్ క్యాల్కులేషన్, ఇంట్రెస్ట్ క్యాల్కులేషన్, యావరేజ్ ఎక్సెట్రా. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మార్క్స్ షీట్, స్టూడెంట్ మార్క్స్ షీట్ తెలుసుకోవడానికి యావరేజ్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ వైజ్, నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ వైజ్ యావరేజ్ తెలుసుకోవడానికి, వాళ్ళ పర్సంటేజ్ క్యాల్కులేట్ చేయడానికి ఈ ఫంక్షన్ చాలా యూస్ఫుల్గా ఉంటుంది. ఫార్మాటింగ్ ఫీచర్స్ ఇంప్రూవ్ ద అపియరెన్సీ ఆఫ్ డేటా. ద డేటా ఈస్ ఆటోమేటికలీ రీకాల్కులేటెడ్ ఇన్ ద ఎంటైర్ వర్క్షీట్ ఇఫ్ ఎనీ చేంజ్ ఇస్ మేడ్ ఇన్ అ సింగిల్ సెల్. నెక్స్ట్ ఫంక్షన్, ద డేటా కెన్ బి సర్చ్డ్ క్విక్లీ అండ్ ఇఫ్ రిక్వైర్డ్ రిప్లేస్డ్ ఇన్స్టెంట్లీ. Quick data entry can be done in a large series of cells by using autofill option. Autofill optionతో క్విక్ డేటా ఎంట్రీ ఎంత సిరీస్ అయినా ఎన్ని నంబర్స్ అయినా క్యాల్కులేట్ చేయడానికి ఆటోఫిల్ బాగా యూస్ఫుల్గా ఉంటుంది ఈ ఫంక్షన్. ద డేటా కెన్ బి వ్యూడ్ ఇన్ అ గ్రాఫికల్ ఫామ్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ a student's marks list can be seen viewed by in a graphical form such as charts which help to understand, analyze, compare data in an effective manner. These advanced features have made Microsoft Excel first choice for professionals to quick perform lengthy accounting and financial tasks that help in taking prompt actions. Starting Excel 2019. To start working on Excel 19, follow the given steps. Here you can see the figure 7. First, on the desktop you can see the highlighted Excel icon. Click on the Excel icon. Then second figure picture you can see Excel contents. Then after selecting a new workbook, you can see blank workbook. You have to select blank workbook. In that blank workbook you can see number of rows. Here you can see in the figure columns and rows. Horizontal are columns and vertical are rows. Here you can see first one tabs, upper bar tabs, next name box, active cell, row heading, down status bar. After row heading you can see the rows and columns. For rows and columns we have name box, enter the range C12 to H12. This is the address for the cells. Here you can see formula bar, column heading, work view options, worksheet view options. In formula bar you can calculate number of mathematical percentages, interest, averages, etc. This is the Excel worksheet, or you can call spreadsheet. In this spreadsheet you have number of columns and rows. Here in this figure you can see blank workbook, graphical workbook, everything. When you open Excel 19, the start screen appears. Select the blank workbook thumbnail from the screen. A new blank workbook will open on your screen. Next function, next topic, workbook and worksheet. In workbook and worksheet, the Excel window appears on the screen is called workbook. In Excel sheet, Excel window first appears the screen is called the workbook. And it is assigned a temporary name book 1. We called it as book 1. A workbook is like a notebook which consists of number of pages called worksheets. In workbook you have number of worksheets. It is in a grid-like area made up of rows and columns. In this worksheet you have number of columns and rows where you can enter work with data. By default an Excel workbook holds a single worksheet named sheet 1. In workbook you have number of sheets. You can add any number of worksheets in a workbook according to the limits of memory available on your computer. Here under bottom you can see sheet 1. Pressing this option you can add number of sheets in the workbook. Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4, etc. A worksheet consists of 1,48,576 rows. Here you can see rows vertical. It consists of 1,48,576 rows in a worksheet. And columns 16,384 columns. Columns are represented by letters on the top and rows by numbers on the left side of the worksheet. Columns, it is A, B, C, D, and this is side, it is 1, 2, 3, these are rows. Components of worksheets. Major components of worksheet are discussed below. Cell. What's the meaning of a cell? A cell is an intersection of a column and a row is a worksheet. Intersection where column and small box, this is called a cell. Each cell is identified by its column letter and row number. It is addressed. The cell name we have to identify with letter and row number. Column with letter and row with number, which is known as cell address. For example, A5 refers to a cell at the Intersection of column A and row 5. Here you can see A5 means A5. This is the cell address. Here you can see range C12 and H12. C12 and H12 range. A cell is used to store data such as text number. In the cell you can store text, means alphabets, text, numbers, formulas, functions and etc. A cell can have up to 32,767 characters. In one cell you can fix 32,767 characters. Active cell means when you click on a cell, a thick black border appears around it, which differentiate from the rest of the cells. Means when you're typing on a cell, it will appear like a black border. This means it is highlighted box. This highlighted box is called a cell pointer. Where mouse point is click on it, it's called cell point. It indicates that the current cell is active. When you type in a cell, that is active cell we call that. Means correct cell is active. Data can be entered only in the active cell. Active cell only we can enter data. Range. A range is a group of contiguous cells which form from the shape of a rectangle. It can be a small as a single cell or a big as an entire worksheet. You can specify a range by writing the starting cell address from the followed by the ending cell address, both separated by a colon. For example, C1, C2 means if C1 and C2 is the range, in the middle you have to keep colon. It indicates range starting from C1 cell address and ending with C10 cell address. This is called range. What is a column headings? Letters across the top border of each worksheet are called column headings. These headings identify columns with letter A to Z. Column headings A to Z, it will be A, AZ, BA, no end for it. Every worksheet in column contains 16,384 columns. In Excel, it contains 16,384 columns. Row headings. Row headings are the numbers marked from 1 to 1,48,576 along left border of the worksheet represent each row of it. Name box. Name box is located just above the column heading on the left side of the window. This area displaces location of a cell pointer. In the name box, you can type the cell range, functions, formulas, etc. Formula bar means is located to the right of the name box. This bar shows the characters and formulas that you enter in an active cell. What you are entering in the cell will appear on the formula bar. What is status bar? It is located at the bottom of the Excel window. In the Excel window, bottom it shows the status bar. It gives you information about the current selection. Current selection, it gives the information. And next comes the title bar. It displays the name of the presentation on which you are currently working. Title bar shows the currently working displays. And next important function, moving around the work spreadsheet. Moving around the spreadsheet. To input data in a worksheet, you have to move the cell pointer from one cell to another with the help of the various keys defined in the given table. In the table, you can see the keys. With these keys, you have to move the cell. You have to enter data in the cell with the help of these keys and functions. What is that first key? To move the cell characters, move one column right, you have to use right arrow. Right arrow shows the move one column right, and left arrow shows the moves one column left, and up arrow moves one row up. Up arrow moves one row up, and down arrow moves one row down. What is page up? Page up means moves the active cell highlight to first row of the spreadsheet and can be used as an alternative to scroll up the worksheet. What is page down? Page down moves the active cell highlight to the next sheet and can be used as an alternative to scroll down the worksheet. And next function key is Control plus O. Control plus O moves the cell pointer to the first cell of the topmost row. For example, A1. When you are typing a cell pointer, to move up, Control O moves the cell pointer to the first cell. With the help of Control O, you can move the cell to the first cell. Control N means to move the cell point to the last used cell on the spreadsheet. With this function keys, you can operate the cell. And next function, entering data. How to enter data, given steps you have to follow. In the given follow, you can see a new workbook, blank workbook from the start screen. When you come to the Excel and start screen, you can see the blank workbook. In this workbook, you can enter data like this: names, weekly, column. Here you can see this is formula bar, name box here, range, everything you can see here. In columns, you are typing items Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and in rows you are typing eatables, cold, drink, everything. Data you can store like this way. Click on the cell D1 and type weekly expenses. D1, here you can see D1. D1, this is the weekly expenses. This is D1 is the cell address where weekly expenses heading you can type. Now select the cell range where you enter the text. Click on the merge and center button to highlight a group on the home tab. Weekly expenses, to come in the middle, you have to click on merge and center button, so that heading will be in the center of the page. The selected cells will be merged and the text will be centered, so that the text weekly expense will be in the center. With the help of merge and center button, you can operate the weekly expenses in the center type. Next one, click on A2 and type items. Press the right arrow key, type Monday in B2, Tuesday in C2. Likewise, enter data in the rest of the cells displayed in the figure. Like this way you have to enter the data. Click on the cell A3 and eatables and press the key, cell pointer shift to cell A4. After typing cell A3 eatables, it will move to cell 4. Next one, type cold drink and press the down arrow key to move the cell. A5, type milk, similarly enter the remaining data. Like this way you have to enter full data. Next function, you can see out types of data. Your types of data in Excel you have such as numbers, text and formulas. You can type numbers, text and formulas. First, come to the numbers, are values that consist of numerical 0 to 9 characters like plus, minus. For example, dollar, percentage, greater sign, etc. They can be used in calculations. In the calculation, you can insert these plus, minus, dollars, multiplication, percentages in addition to actual numbers. Excel also stores data and time as numbers. By default, numbers are right aligned in a cell. Next function, text. Text data has letters, numbers, spaces and special characters. It is not used in calculations. By default, the text data is left aligned in a cell. Most often, text entries are used for worksheet headings, names and identifying columns of data. Formulas. These formulas are mathematical equations involving number values, operators, and cell addresses used for performing calculation on a worksheet. They can range from basic mathematical operation to complex calculations. Formulas begin with an equal. For formulas, you have to use beginning equal sign. Equal sign. Next one, performing calculations. In this figure, you can see the calculation under total expenses. Here in this total, you can see the calculation started with equal sign. Equal sign and the cell address B3 plus C3 plus D3. This is formula. Excel has a powerful feature to perform calculation on data. You can perform addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of numbers either by formulas or using functions. The result of the calculation is displayed in the cell where the formula is entered. Here after entering the formula, if you press enter, it gives the result here. To calculate the total expenses in H3, type this function as equal sign B3, C3, D3, E3, F3, G3 as shown in the figure. And press enter. The sum of the values in cell B3 to G3 is calculated and displayed in the cell H3. H3 it gives the result. You can use either uppercase or lowercase while entering the cell address in a formula. You can use any case, upper or either small case, for calculating formula. Excel also provides quicker and easier way of perform calculation. Click on the auto sum. Auto sum symbol will be like this, auto sum, and present on either formula tab or own tab. Excel suggests a range which you can either accept or select a different range. To make use of AutoSum, move the cell pointer to cell H4. Click on AutoSum button. Excel suggests range B4 to G4. Accept the range by pressing the enter key. The sum of values in cell B4 to G4 is calculated and displayed in cell H4. How to manage worksheet? Switching between worksheets. When you add a number of worksheets, only a few of them can be seen on the screen. To switch between worksheets, use Control plus page up or Control page down key combination. To change the worksheet, in worksheet you have number of sheets. To change them, to operate them, you have to use this Control page up. Control page up gives